Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to talk about inverses of functions. I have 3 examples for you here today. So if you ever see something like this, f of x is a function. You ever see f with a -1 attached to it? That's asking you to find the inverse of a function. And the word inverse in math, it means like to go the opposite way. So they want us to find the inverse of this function. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to rewrite this. F of x is another way to say y. So let's write that out. All right. Now, we're going to make a list of everything that's happening to x using the order of operations in the order it would happen. That's going to be helpful for us in a sec. So I know the value of x, what's going to happen to it in the order of operation. Well, first, it's going to be raised to the 1/7 power. It's going to be added by 4. And then it's going to be multiplied by 7. That's everything that's happening to the x right now before I find the inverse. So now, how do you find the inverse? We're going to rewrite the equation so that the x and the y are switched. So now this is x, and this is y. And now we have an equation that is technically the inverse, but it's not set up in y=4. So this list is going to help us get there. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to undo all this stuff in reverse order. That's how you solve for a variable, right? You do everything that's happening to it in reverse order. We do inverse operation. And so this is the order that I wrote the list, meaning now I'm going to go in reverse order. And I'm going to undo it using the opposite. So what's the opposite of multiplying by 7? Dividing by 7. Now we have x divided by 7 equals y to the 1/7 plus 4. Next up, what's the opposite of adding 4? Subtracting 4. 4 minus 4, so like x over 7 minus 4. Equal y to the 1/7. And then lastly, what's the opposite of raising something to the 1/7 power? If you're not sure which power to use, just remember our reciprocal exponent is the inverse exponent, right? So usually we think to ourselves, what's the opposite of squaring? The answer is square rooting, right? And really, that's because what we're doing is we're raising it to the 1/2 power. We're using the reciprocal exponent to cancel it out. So in this question, we are raising it to the 1/7 power. The opposite of that is raising it to the 7th power. We're going to raise this whole thing to the 7th power. So that means our answer is y equals x over 7 minus 4 to the 7th power. That's the answer to that question. Sorry you couldn't see some of that work, all right? And didn't miss too much. All right, next question. Find negative f of -10 minus f of g to the -1st of 4. Remember, g to the -1st means inverse. That means go the other way. Usually in these kinds of tables, we just go to x and then look at the corresponding answer. But when we have a -1, that means I'm giving you the answer. Go back and find the variable that made it. Okay, so let's do this question. F of -10. That just means x is -10. What's the answer in our f function? So x is -10. What's the answer for our f function? So that's going to be 7 and another negative in front of it. So we'll stick that out front. Now this one, we got to work our way from the inside out. I can't deal with this f because I don't know what the value is that I need to plug in. I need to do this first. So it says g -1 of 4. That means I plugged in some value of x, and my answer was 4 in the G column. So where is that answer? It's right there. So that means what number made that? Negative 18 made that. So now we know this all works out to be negative 18. And now we can do this problem. F of negative 18 means our x is negative 18. And go to the x column, what is the answer? So our x is negative 18. What's our answer? Negative 13. Let's put the minus down. Let's bring the minus 7 down. Negative 7 minus minus 13 is really negative 7 plus 13, which is 6. The answer to that question is 6. So remember, when you see F with parentheses, they're telling you the x and they want you to find the corresponding answer, the output. But if they're giving a negative 1, that means they're giving you the answer and they want you to work backwards and find which x made that answer. All right, in our last example here today, it says graph the inverse of f of x. So let me turn the camera so you can see it better. To graph the inverse, all you do is take the coordinates that you're given and switch the x and the y. So the coordinate here is negative 1, 1. We just switch the x and the y. So I'm actually going to make a list of points here. We have negative 1, 1. We have negative 2, 2. We have negative 3, 4. We have 0, 2. We have 1, 4. So to find the inverse of a function graphically, you just switch the x and the y values. So now that means I'm going to plot 1, negative 1. I'm going to plot 2, negative 2. I'm going to plot 4, negative 3. I'm going to plot 2, 0. And I'm going to plot 4, 1. 1, negative 1. 2, negative 2. 4, negative 3. 2 zeros at there. And 4, 1. Oh. So that is the inverse function. Now, when you take an inverse of something, it's not always itself a function, even though the original might be. This one's not a function. It fails the vertical line test. And just a cool visual to show you, what are you doing when you're finding the inverse? You're taking the graph and you're flipping it across, you're reflecting it across the equation y equals x. So that dotted line I just wrote is the line that this is reflecting across. So we're picturing that mirror being a diagonal line. Everything here flips and goes across it. So that's it. That's inverse functions. Thanks for watching.